Hey, I'm Rich and welcome to Rich Reviews Reviews, a channel where I scour review sites for the best and worst reviews of films, products, services and anything else with a rating, so you don't have to. In today's instalment, we take a look at the allegedly unscripted reunion special of Friends, or to use its formal title, Friends, The Reunion. A James Corden hosted part interview, part Gogglebox style rewatch with the original cast. It's been 15 or so years since the final episode, and the concept of a reunion with the lovable gang of six sounded pretty exciting for a lot of people. The HBO Max promo kept fans on tenterhooks, even if Matthew Perry's emergency dental surgery on the day of recording did cause a bit of a stir. I'm not going to comment further there, read up on your own conspiracy theories. Now, Friends, the sitcom itself, captured the charm of 90s and early noughties culture, even though it lacked character diversity, had some truly unbelievable story arcs, and used the filler phrase, "oh my god," on average 4.5 times per episode. Yep, it really was quite that frequent. It does, however, hit the mid-20s spots on top 50 lists of TV shows all the time, and there are enough trivia quizzes, pop culture references, and superfans out there to ensure it will never leave our screens. Reruns of all 10 seasons are constantly on some TV channel or streaming service. I mean, I don't have the time to cover every country and broadcasting combo, but for most adults over the age of 25, it is impossible not to have seen at least an episode or two purely by existing. Each season received a fair amount of critical acclaim, with viewership increasing from relative mediocrity in the early episodes to genuine, consistent popularity, and accompanying high actor salaries, as Ross and Rachel finally got together, went on a break, got married, got divorced quickly, had a kid, split up again, then maybe got back together for good. Seriously, look at those salary numbers. $1 million an episode back in the early 2000s. That's some strong bargaining power for the cast. And the reunion was supposedly an advance on top of that. Up to $2.5 million has been floated around for each cast member. Even Bitcoin would be jealous of that chart. Retirement funds to the moon, or other sensible expression. If you have been living under a rock, here's my at-a-glance summary of the Friends themselves. First up is Ross, dinosaur nerd, try-hard nice guy with a poor understanding of relationships. He's unstable and irrational most of the time. His sister Monica, a morbidly obese child who grew up to be a controlling chef with severe and unmanaged OCD. His love interest and her best friend Rachel, the ditzy daddy's girl who ignores every lesson life throws her way, yet somehow maintains her popularity. Then Chandler, an anxious analyst office worker using humour as a crutch. By far the most relatable character, who could realistically afford his central Manhattan rent, a point glossed over by pretty much every single writer in the show. Phoebe, pitched as the lovable weird one, but in actuality a soul warped by multiple childhood and adult emotional traumas, who just can't find love. And Joey, a failing actor leeching off his friends to maintain his lifestyle. He displays some sexist moments, yet strangely balanced with a caring attitude towards his friends and family, especially his sisters. I may have focused on the negatives, but honestly, positive character traits are rather lacking. There are also a lot of cameos in this show, which, honestly, were a little hit and miss. Many guests fell flat or were clearly jammed into an awkward plotline at the last minute, whereas others, look at this footage, were truly incredible. I didn't even really need to mention cameos. I just really wanted an opportunity to throw in this clip of Danny DeVito stripping. Judge away. In fact, I don't even really need to talk over this. I could just let you watch it in all of its glory. Why am I talking? Cut away. Let's get on with this. Anyway, enough background. Let's begin reviewing some reviews. Before we step any further, obvious spoiler alert, these are reviews. People will point things out about the plot or content. They'll likely ruin the ending or any cameos. They'll also screw up spelling and grammar, which, is a different kind of spoiler. Don't say you haven't been warned. We start with something short and sweet. I loved it. I had some laughs, and I didn't hate James Corden. It was nicely done. I actually appreciate these kinds of reviews for what they are. A simple rating after watching a show. Is it nuanced? Not at all. Did they pick apart any details? Of course not. But do I know what to expect if I were to watch it? Sort of. The reference to Corden is also quite eloquent. 5 words are all that's needed to convey the fact that Corden was an okay, yet not great choice of presenter, and, rather atypically, wasn't immediately unlikable. You absolutely get the sense that our reviewer was expecting him to ruin it. And that's all inferred from 5 words. Isn't the English language remarkable? Solid start, but not much to it. A middle ground positive 6 out of 10 on the Rich Reviews rating scale. Their thoughts do not appear to have been shared, however. 7 out of 10. James Corden spoiled it. Was great seeing the whole Game 4 together again. But why in the hell was James Corden the host? Also, not much of that was in the interviews on the storylines. Would have liked to see a bit more. Alright, so this is a bit of a mess. Firstly, misspelling of Corden. Not a big deal, but it isn't a great opener. Full stop in the title is odd, albeit a technical point you could argue over. Game 4, I'm assuming this is gang together encountering autocorrect issues, but my leniency meter is running low at this stage. Now Corden spelt correctly, which makes me irrationally angrier about the original screw-up. Hang on, is that irrational? Surely someone would go back and check. Do people not proofread their IMDb reviews? Am I expecting too much? No, that's a bad line of questioning to go further. Then a final sentence which is just a blur of confusion, really. Yeah, it's not great, but we're early on, so maybe a 3 out of 10? I need to leave myself room on this scale, knowing how these videos normally go. Aha! Looks like another reviewer is about to show them how to express the same sentiments. I'm hopeful, at least. 7 out of 10. Ruined by James Corden. A behind-the-scenes look at the 6 meeting up and reminiscing was enough, and also the best part of the reunion. The obvious questions and terrible catwalk really made this a bit trashy. Why are people still hiring James Corden? Unfunny and unable to allow anyone else to talk. Was good, but could have been much better. I could be picky here. Using a numeric 6 rather than spelling it out is a mild faux pas. Sentence structure is a little wonky too, but judged against the previous calamity, it's a marked improvement. Have a 9, knowing that there's a strong assist from your predecessor. Right then, looks like we're jumping into something a bit deeper. Let's hope for the best. Oh, and I get to do an impression. What fun. Could it be any more of a wasted opportunity? So, all that hype for this, huh? Well, it started okay, I had some laughs, but the more it went on, the more boring it got, and I eventually ended up skipping scenes too. What's with all those randoms speaking about the show? No disrespect for these people, good for them, but put their takes on YouTube. Don't waste precious screen time for it. And while at it, what's with Beckham and BTS and Gaga in that cringe-fest fashion show? I'm here to see Friends for crying out loud, not Crawford and Bieber. You want to do that runway part? Put guest stars of the show to do it. And what's with that host guy? Why not have a guest star ask them the questions? Someone we the fans can relate to. Well, this reads pretty well to me. Good thing they stopped before we went firmly into diatribe territory. Oh, wait. They didn't stop. It continues. Quite a bit more. Oh man, so much potential wasted. You have the cast of Friends and you put them on a table to redo their scenes. Why not have them recreate the scenes on the actual sets in full character and clothes? I mean, you have the sets available, don't you? How funny would it be seeing Ross putting on that Frankie Sage relaxed shirt, or Joey in the Sergio Valente skinny jeans, especially now that he put on a few pounds, or Phoebe in the maternity pants, Rachel in the bridesmaid's dress, and Monica in the fat suit. How funny would it be to have Ross and Monica make the routine? I understand that there may be certain limitations with Chandler, but you could at least find a funny scene for him to recreate. So much of a wasted opportunity. Oh well. We found a hardcore Friends fan that knows their stuff and has found the opportunity to launch into a written tirade against the reunion. And I love it. Granted, I've not gone looking for grammatical mistakes, and there are some, but I'm willing to ignore them when someone is venting with this much passion. A well-earned, very rare I might add, 10 out of 10 for effort. Okay, 0.5 out of 5 incoming. Brace for disappointment, everyone. Really disappointed. Not a Friends reunion, but a cast of Friends talk show. Interviews, flashbacks. They wasted 104 minutes on bad acting. I'm a diehard Friends fan, have watched the series hundreds of times. This was really such a letdown. A strange one. I'm skipping the hundreds of times. Let's come to that later. And this is worded well enough to understand the gist of their frustrations, and I feel somewhat informed of the content, but it's more a list of talking points than a formulated review. Just a bizarre, illogical use of commas everywhere, which is disappointing after an initial attempt at semicolоning. Yep, I did just use that as a verb. Come at me. 4 out of 10. Barely. And Ross and Rachel are right. It's not pretty. Continuing the theme of disappointment. 2 out of 10. Utterly disappointed. I have watched Friends over 20 times. This, whatever it was, just disappointed me. Felt really artificial. Well, we've gone up a notch to utter disappointment, yet the review score has improved. A little odd, but I can forgive matching a 2 out of 10 with that title phrase. Just. What I can't forgive is this utterly terrible semicolon usage. What is this? Like, honestly, what's going on? Did someone tell this reviewer at some point in their life that they'd benefit from using them more often? Guidance they've truly taken to heart, it seems, then pushed way too far by just cramming the beautiful little punctuation mark into every realistic or otherwise location. Also, if you have seen every episode of Friends over 20 times, I think you need to seek medical help. I've done the maths. Conservatively, that's 72 days of non-stop episode binging. I'm just utterly disappointed in this review, and using their rating scale, I guess that's a 2 out of 10, and a sad Joey, for good measure. Alright then, what's left to say about this reunion? Ooh, someone that seems to be a big fan to close. 10 out of 10, just amazing, spoiler warning. I wasn't even born when Friends aired. Now I'm crazy about the show. I've seen like 5 times the show, and now getting to watch them together, probably for the last time. I want more. It's just nostalgic. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Okay, nope. Hard no to almost everything in here. Title? Fine. Okay, good even. I'll give them that. Spoilers warning. Why? They haven't mentioned anything about the reunion or even the TV show. Nothing has been spoiled here, with the obvious exception of my evening. Opening sentence that really needs an accompanying follow-up paragraph, but that's non-existent. Weird sentence structure? Tick. Using an apostrophe to save what would be one typed character, maybe in an attempt to look cool? Strange. Unnecessary parentheses into a 2-dot ellipsis. Why? Kissing emojis that serve zero purpose. And I can't let their logic go. How is it nostalgic if you're not even old enough to remember the show being on TV, even vaguely near the time that it originally aired? Harsh perhaps, but 0 out of 10. And bad enough for me to end this review session. I can't go on. Oh my god, it's over. But before you click on whatever's next in YouTube's all-knowing down-the-rabbit-hole algorithm, Please like, subscribe and leave your suggestions for things to review in the comment section below. It really helps me out trying to grow this new channel and bring you more of this type of stuff. I've been Rich Reviewing Reviews. Have a great day.